My partner got a phone, he posting from the P. Well, hello.
What's good, everybody? What's good? It's your boy, Cardinal Bud Crawford, or E.S. Red, if that's what you won't call me. And we are back for another one. Alright, y'all, new topic for a moment, new topic. Feels awesome outside. The heat is gone, girl. Alright, y'all, July 4th. Terence Crawford surprising fans with signed Spence Jr. contract. Is it true? Is it true? Oh my God, is it true? Everybody's, well, not everybody. A few people are reporting that for the past, about a week and a half, people have been reporting that there will be a surprise delivered to fight fans on the 4th of July. And that surprise is supposed to be the fully signed contract for the Errol Spence Jr. versus Terence Bud Crawford super fight for undisputed. Now, is this actually the end of the road? Have we finally reached the pinnacle of negotiation? Have we finally hit the point to where this fight is a done deal? It's gonna happen. We've been talking about this for weeks and weeks and weeks now. Terence Crawford said he would sign as soon as he got a contract, but he got a contract and he decided he didn't like the contract. So, for weeks and weeks and weeks, first there was a debate whether there was a contract, and then there was a debate of 50-50 and 60-40s, and then there was a debate about pricing out, and it's been everything except for this fight being announced up until this point. And now we have people saying that, it's nearly done. They have people saying that it's going to be announced tomorrow, to be specific. Today's the 3rd, tomorrow's the 4th. And people are saying Team Crawford is finally going to announce this fight. And they're finally actually have come to terms with the contract. Me personally, I don't believe it just yet. There are other people reporting Errol Spence wants upward of $100 million to fight Terence Bud Crawford, which I think that is completely untrue, because not even Mayweather or Pacquiao got those type of dollar amounts for their super fight, and this is when people were buying pay-per-views still, and people barely, the UFC does good numbers. I don't know how much of those numbers are flodged numbers or forged numbers, or numbers that they're cooking the books with by purchasing their own pay-per-views, or having sports venues purchase the pay-per-views for them. I don't know the specifics of that because I don't indulge in a lot of MMA. But I do know that they sell way more pay-per-views than boxing does. Now, the Maypac fight was kind of the death knell of pay-per-views, because people felt like they got screwed on that fight, which honestly, I felt the same way. I think a lot of people did get screwed on that fight, because, a lot of info came out about the behind the scenes of that fight, and I don't think the dollar amount matched what we received in the ring, put it that way. And that money is the difference between the Terence Crawford Errol Spence fight and the Maypac fight. The Maypac fight money was huge from the first time that they announced it. It only got bigger over time for some reason, even though the two fighters only got older, and the quality of the fight degraded year after year after year. I wouldn't say so much on Pacquiao's accord, because Pacquiao was still fighting very high competition, where Mayweather was kind of his competition level was very off in comparison to Pacquiao's around the time when they fought. But he still scored that victory. But the difference between that fight and the Terence Crawford, the money was there from the beginning. When they first announced it, it might not have been worth the 100 or 200 million or whatever it cleared. But it did clear those numbers when it actually happened. I think they did somewhere around 1 million pay-per-view buys, and the fight generated around 200, I think, something $1 million or somewhere along that line, which is crazy numbers. And for Errol Spence to be asking for 100 million himself is astronomical. Now I think 30 to 40 is realistic. 50, you would have to start questioning the motivation for asking for 50 million when you're doing nowhere near the numbers that Mayweather was doing on pay-per-view, or Manny Pacquiao was doing on pay-per-view, when they were both doing 500, 600, 700,000 buys, million buys every other pay-per-view. So with them doing 250 to 300,000 on pay-per-view, I don't think that is possible for any fighter at that level to be clearing $100 million. I just don't see it. And if he was asking for that type of money, that would be Errol Spence Jr. pricing himself out of the fight, because there's no realistic way that they can come up with those dollar amounts for a Spence Jr. Crawford fight. It's just impossible. Not, because the both of them combined are not doing 500,000 buys. And I hate to say that about Earl, because Earl can do like 250, 300, maybe 400 by himself. But he can't. But even when you add Terence Crawford's numbers in there, you're barely clearing 500,000. Let's say Earl did 300 on a good day, 350 on a good day, and then Terence Crawford did another 150 on a good day. That's barely hitting 500,000 pay-per-view buys, which wouldn't clear Errol Spence's $100 million check at all, at all. So I don't think that news is actually true. So what about the July 4th surprise announcement that's supposed to be coming? How true could that possibly be? I mean, anything at this point is possible, because we heard PBC, Fox Sports, Showtime all say that they're no longer willing to negotiate with Terence Crawford. So whatever that they have put on the table as far as a contract, and whatever extra stipulations that they have added up until this point, those are the final drafts of that contract. They're not willing to draft a new version of whatever contract that they sent to Terence Crawford. So, to me, I think you could possibly get an announcement on the 4th, or the week after the 4th. It could be possible. Is it realistic? I mean, from the news that we've been hearing over the past 2 days, 3 days, I would say it's highly unrealistic, because Terence Crawford has been making it seem like he doesn't want the fight based off of the contract that's been placed in front of him. He's been saying stuff like he'll walk away, that they're pricing him out, that they're not negotiating fairly with him, they're lowballing him, and all of those terms are terms to indicate that they're not going to announce this anytime soon. That this could possibly drag out into 2023, which was what I've been saying the whole time. I said the end of 2022, back when people saying that the fight was going to happen back in May and all this stuff, and I'm telling y'all, I don't see that happening. The money's not there, and I just feel like at this point, it's probably not going to happen. It might happen at the end of 2022, but more than likely it's going to happen in 23. But there is a possibility still. I think if they can get it done within the next week, 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks at the most, and then put the fight on for the end of August, beginning of September, there's a chance that it could still do well. I think if they try to drag this thing out another month, it's going to push the fight out into November and December, and you have a problem at that point. And the problem is that the fight is going to clash with people's holiday plans. You already, you know, the economically, pretty much every American is in the stranglehold. The wallets are in the stranglehold. The gas pump is strangling you. The food prices are strangling you. All around, energy costs are strangling you to death. So I don't think people are budgeting, except for younger fight fans. I don't think most fight fans, casual fight fans, that they need to purchase this fight. You need casuals to purchase this fight for it to do well. I don't think casual fight fans are budgeting for a Spence Crawford fight in opposed to a budgeting for Thanksgiving, or budgeting for Christmas plans, or budgeting for New Year's celebrations. So you already have people's holiday, the 4th of July is probably ruined at this point for most people, because all the extra money is going to just put gas in their car, or pay, higher energy bills, pay for groceries and stuff like this. Not to mention people with families. So, if this thing drags out another month, then you're going to have to deal with the conflict of Thanksgiving and Christmas, or purchasing an Errol Spence Terence Crawford fight for most casual boxing fans. And I think you have a problem at that point. I think you have a serious problem. And you would be better off just pushing it out until 2023, maybe around Cinco de Mayo, because, that's when, most people will be getting their next round of tax refunds, and, there'll be a lot more disposable income that people have to spend on this fight. So, when we get a surprise on July 4th from Terence Bud Crawford, it's up in the air at this point. I'm hoping that the fight gets announced, this week, next week, possibly the week after, because after that, like I just said, you're going to run into a conflict and an issue regarding this fight. Let me know what y'all think down in the comment section below. Hit that like button for me. Share. Subscribe. Holler at me on all social media platforms. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. You're more than likely to get a response on the tube than any other social media platform. So if you want a response, holler at me over there. It's your boy, Cardinal Bud Crawford, or E. That's not it. E.S. Red, if that's what you want to call me. And I think we're done for now. Yeah, we are out of here.
All of my niggas bosses, I am not above them.